Right now on Fox 43 Featured, guilty verdict. A York County jury ruled on the fate of a 15-year-old on trial for murder in less than 5 hours. Reaction from the defense after the verdict was issued. Transportation troubles. Rabbittransit has announced proposed fare hikes and warns service cuts could be on the way, what they want from state lawmakers. Plus, new roommates. Students at Lancaster Bible College have a unique living situation for the upcoming year. What drove the partnership between the school and a retirement community? Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 Featured. I'm Robert Stover. We're spending the next half hour rehashing some of our top stories of the week, starting with the guilty verdict of a York County teen this week charged with killing and shooting his friend 2 years ago. As Fox 43's Matt Kleindens reports, it took the jury 5 hours to find 15-year-old Nolan Grove guilty of third-degree murder for killing 12-year-old Kane Highland.
2 years after the death of 12-year-old Kane Highland, Nolan Grove has been convicted for his murder.
I've already talked to Nolan's family and told them to hang in there, that this isn't over yet.
On Tuesday, jurors in the case found the 15-year-old guilty of third-degree murder after shooting Kane in April 2023. The York County District Attorney's Office released the following statement on the ruling, saying, quote, "We appreciate the jury's diligence and hard work in reaching its verdict, and the victim's family for being with us throughout this process." They also credited the investigation by state troopers following the deadly shooting.
I was confident it was going to go in Nolan's favor until that question got answered.
During deliberations, the jury asked the judge whether Nolan's belief that the gun was unloaded was relevant. The judge instructed the jury that Nolan's actions could demonstrate malice if they find that he intentionally pointed the gun at Kane, even if he thought the gun was empty. Nolan's attorney, Farley Holt, believes that ruling was a mistake.
Nolan, based upon his own actions in clearing the gun when they lost the bullet right before the shooting, when they had to look for it in the grass, believed the gun was cleared.
Despite the ruling, Nolan's team continues to insist that his actions were reckless, but not malicious.
All three of these boys, all being friends, all being young, and I indicated during my closing argument, they all acted stupid.
The judge sentenced Nolan's sentencing hearing for August 28th and denied him his bail after the verdict was announced. The defense team indicated that they were planning to challenge today's conviction. In York, Matt Kleindens, Fox 43 News.
A new anti-security climb fence has been installed outside Pennsylvania governor's mansion in Harrisburg. Temporary fencing and barricades were in place to ensure safety and maintain security while the installation happened. The additional security measures are part of the response to the firebombing attack at the governor's residence in April. The suspect, Cody Ballmer, is expected to appear in court next August. Amazon is planning to invest at least $20 billion in artificial intelligence campuses across Pennsylvania. Governor Shapiro and other Pennsylvania leaders were in Columbia County this week for the announcement. Amazon says the investment will create at least 1,200 high-tech jobs, with one community near Pittsburgh and another near Philadelphia under consideration for the future campuses.
As a result of about 20 months of extremely hard and collaborative work between our administration, Amazon, and leaders at every level of government, I'm proud to announce that Amazon will be making an initial investment of at least $20 billion.
Since 2010, Amazon has invested more than $26 billion in Pennsylvania, including infrastructure and compensation to employees. These latest facilities join a growing Amazon operations footprint across the Commonwealth. The Pennsylvania State House has passed a bill that would repeal the state's ban on Sunday hunting. The bill passed by a 131-72 vote and will now head to the state Senate for consideration. The Pennsylvania Game Commission supports the bill, which would allow them to include Sundays when laying out annual hunting seasons. Toll plazas are being removed at locations along the Pennsylvania Turnpike as part of efforts to modernize the highway. This is the start of the first removal process near the Pocono interchange on the northeast extension of the Turnpike. Toll plazas are being demolished where open road tolling has launched. Toll booths are expected to be removed across the entire Turnpike by the end of 2028. York County-based Rabbittransit has announced proposed fare hikes for its bus routes, and leadership says it could face more cuts. More cuts could be coming up without necessary funding from the state. The agency, which covers 11 counties in central Pennsylvania, says that financial realities are the reason for the change and that service cuts could be necessary if Governor Josh Shapiro's proposed mass transit funding is not included in this year's state budget. With Republicans pushing back on funding for Philadelphia-based SEPTA, the agency says any cut to one agency will mean a cut to agencies in all 67 counties, and that Rabbittransit could lose up to 25% of its routes.
If they don't fund SEPTA, they don't fund Rabbittransit. And I believe that the constituents that live in our 11 counties here in central Pennsylvania along the Susquehanna River are equally as important, and they need transit too.
Rabbittransit announced potential changes to its stop-hopper microtransit system, commuter buses, and fixed route services in Adams, Cumberland, Dauphin, and York counties, as well as Harrisburg City routes. As colleges cram to accommodate student housing shortages, one Lancaster County school is exploring a unique living situation involving seniors of all ages. Fox 43's Sydney Nauman spoke to organizers of the Housing Improvement Plan and shares how.
In the quiet retirement community of Calvary Homes, moving in means staying a while.
I would say it runs in the age of late 60s, probably into their late 70s. And once they're there, then they're aging here.
Bob Reed is 14 years into his residency and says starting next fall, a new set of seniors are settling in.
Welcome to Calvary Homes. Our new roommates are going to be, they're young. They're very tech.
But the retirees' new roommates have been neighbors all along. Just down the road at Lancaster Bible College, Beth Cockle says the school is struggling to keep up with student enrollment.
Our housing percentage of students who have lived on campus has been growing in the last few years from around 55% to upwards towards 70%.
Pushing the college to partner with the retirement community, which will use the former assisted living wing to house 40 female students, including senior Crystal Link.
I don't know what to expect, but I think it's going to be like really fun experience. I didn't know if like the elderly would be like more annoyed that we're coming, but I just heard that they're like super excited.
Under the same roof, the roommates will be sharing more than just Wi-Fi. They'll be sharing experiences.
It'll be like really good for both sides, where we get to learn like from them and their wisdom and their past experience and see where God has led them in their life, and then them also like viewing us as college students and younger and seeing where God is taking us could also influence them.
When it comes to lessons in life, knowledge doesn't come from textbooks, but from across the hall.
I think when you're separated, you forget how other people think. This gives you a chance to realize that there's different ways to see things. And in our culture, we certainly need to understand different perspectives. And I think that this will help do that.
Creating an intergenerational community, the college hopes to continue. Sydney Nauman, Fox 43 News.
A Dauphin County man spent his career rescuing others and never expected he'd need to be saved too. The local hero opens up about his battle with PTSD and what he's doing now to help others. Plus, Rite Aids throughout Pennsylvania are closing their doors as the company heads to bankruptcy. How York residents are reacting to losing one of the only pharmacies left in the city. Well, June is PTSD Awareness Month, shedding light on the invisible wounds that affect millions, including those who run toward danger. In this week's Health Smart report, Fox 43's Amy Lutz talks to one local hero helping others as they face their lives' biggest battles.
When disaster strikes, first responders are often the first on scene, diving into danger.
I definitely remember experience of panic. I definitely remember also trying to, run through my checklist of different things to try, and it really does happen very suddenly.
But despite extensive training, when disaster strikes in their own lives, sometimes the rescuers need rescuing. Tony Regal has a history of helping others, serving as a member in the Air National Guard, a licensed therapist, and chief of the Harrisburg River Rescue. In 2014, though, a routine training went horribly wrong.
I definitely can vividly remember like the choking experience of not being able to breathe and there's nothing you can do. Tunnel vision started here and I saw the black until it was gone, and then I was on the pool deck for sure. Like I drowned, 100%.
The combat veteran survived, but not long after, he started to struggle with PTSD.
Wearing my seatbelt was something that I struggled with as well because I was restrained as part of the training. And that's something I had to work through to be able to wear my seatbelt again.
Post-traumatic stress syndrome impacts nearly 1 in 11 people. And just like an injury to your body, an injury to your brain takes time to heal. It was time Regal used to get his PhD and open a clinic geared towards helping other first responders deal with trauma just like him.
I feel that my experiences has helped me better understand those that are going through trauma. And I think being able to support and understand folks through their trauma has given meaning and purpose to my trauma.
After years of struggling, Dr. Regal says if you have PTSD, the best way to help yourself is by getting help and never giving up.
There is hope that we can find ways to still thrive, even though trauma and the impacts of trauma may still very much be present in our lives.
The scars of those invisible wounds may fade over time, and the journey to healing can shape a whole new purpose. PTSD can develop after exposure to any traumatic event, including personal assaults, natural or human-caused disasters, any accident, combat, and other forms of violence. I've put more information about this on our website, fox43.com. With your Health Smart report, Amy Lutz, Fox 43 News.
A Rite Aid store in downtown New York closed its doors this week as the pharmacy chain looks to sell off its assets after declaring bankruptcy. It's one of nearly 200 stores around the state shutting its doors for good. Fox 43's Matt Kleindens explains how the York location's closing is a big loss for city residents.
Blowout sale signs hang in the windows of the West Market Street Rite Aid as the pharmacy prepares to close its doors.
It's a shame it's closing, because this is where I get my medicine from.
Rite Aid employees are clearing out the downtown York store as the company goes through its second bankruptcy. Brandy Acevedo says she's disappointed to see the pharmacy close, adding that she now has to take a bus to Walmart to pick up her prescriptions.
I love this right here. It's close to where I live at. I walk from here, from the bus stop, and walk back, go home. And it's a shame.
The West Market Street store is one of 173 Rite Aid locations that are slated to close across Pennsylvania. People I spoke with worry that the closure will force some people to look outside the city of York for a new pharmacy.
The one CVS store on Richland Avenue, that closed, and the drugstore that used to be on Duke Street, they closed.
Victoria Elliott with the PA Pharmacy Association says Rite Aid's bankruptcy adds to a growing trend of pharmacies closing in Pennsylvania. She says the closures will put several counties at risk of becoming pharmacy deserts.
When we spoke with a group of senators a few weeks ago, actually one approached me to say that the Rite Aid in their location was the last pharmacy. And so now his entire district is without a pharmacy to service those patients.
As the Rite Aid in York closes, advocates say state lawmakers need to take action to help pharmacies stay open.
These folks all went into this profession for a reason. They're healthcare providers. They want to be able to help their patients.
Matt Kleindens, Fox 43 News.
I think it's the kind of movie that theaters need right now.
A story about the man behind one of America's most well-known chocolate bars is set to hit theaters. After the break, we give you a sweet sneak peek of the Hershey movie. Well, it's a story that proves failure can be the first ingredient to success, and in this case, a very sweet one. Fox 43's Tyler Poglich got a behind-the-scenes look at the new movie bringing Milton Hershey's journey to the big screen.
It's a company most Americans know, and a story most Americans don't.
Hey, Mark.
Milton Hershey, the man who turned melted chocolate and big dreams into a legacy that still shapes a town.
It's just this epic, entrepreneurial, rags to riches story, but it's also, what I fell in love with when I decided to write that first script was the love story between Milton and Catherine and the legacy that they left with the school.
Writer and producer Sharon Paul says the upcoming film Hershey dives deep into Milton Hershey's early struggles long before he wrapped himself in success.
It really shocked me thinking of this incredibly successful, pervasive brand that's so beloved all over the world and particularly in America, but to think like it almost didn't happen.
The production is led by Dandelion Media, bringing to light the story of Milton Hershey, the man whose name still melts hearts and defines a Pennsylvania town and a chocolate empire. While the movie is being filmed in Dawson, a small town in Fayette County, producers say it bears the Hershey name, while offering a historic backdrop to unbox the past.
It's a story of hope. It's a story that tells us that, business can be effective and kind, that love matters. So I think it's the kind of movie that theaters need right now.
Tillman says the town-preserved architecture helped recreate the late 1800s when Milton Hershey was just beginning to whip up his dream.
Pennsylvania has provided the perfect backdrop, amazing settings.
The Hershey Company is also backing the project, helping bring accuracy and depth to the chocolate maker's life, making sure the story is as rich as the product itself.
We've been working with the screenwriters and the producers for a couple of years now to make sure we tell the best, most true version of Mr. Hershey's story.
And at the heart of Hershey's legacy is not just chocolate, but children. The Milton Hershey School, founded in 1909 to help underprivileged youth, remains a living testament to his vision of success with purpose.
Someone who is very successful at business, true love story, and then this legacy that has lived on for 115 years and will continue to live on in perpetuity. Just incredible.
More than a century after his chocolate dreams came true, the people bringing his story to life reflected on how the man himself might react to seeing it.
We are really honoring Kitty's legacy as well as his, because she was the heart of his story.
Milton himself just valued her on such a level that gave her authority, and that's kind of why we have the school today, because it was Kitty's idea.
His reaction would be, please make sure you get the Kitty part of the story right.
Though it's filmed in Fayette County, its impact stretches far beyond honoring the man who built more than just a chocolate bar. He built a legacy. Milton Hershey once said, "Give them quality, and that's the best type of treatment." Now, more than 100 years later, his story is getting the spotlight and the quality of treatment he always believed in. You can see Hershey in theaters next year. Tyler Poglich, Fox 43 News.
We really see them coming out of their shell, like those who might have been shy or not sure if they could do things. They actually come out of their comfort zone.
She's talking about being part of an inclusive cheer team that's making the sport accessible for everyone. That's coming up in our On the Brightside report.
One cheer team is proving that inclusion and determination can lead to incredible achievements. And today's On the Brightside, we're sharing the vision behind Vision Athletics in Lancaster. They tumble, they stunt, they dance, and they do it all with an inspiring passion. This is the Cheer Abilities team with Vision Athletics, bringing people of all abilities together across Lancaster, York, and Berks counties.
We have children with autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, anything. We're just welcoming to whoever would like to try and do competitive cheer and be able to just go out there and compete like every other child does.
This squad of 16 athletes span from ages 5 to 31 years old, and they're redefining what it means to be a competitive cheerleader.
So they're doing every component that every other team is doing. It just might be at a little bit slower a pace or modified to whatever their disability is, and then they get judged just like every other team.
For Heather Halderman and her husband, the vision for Cheer Abilities was simple.
For them to feel like they have a place and be able to do anything that anybody else can do.
And that mission is being accomplished both on and off the mat.
We really see them coming out of their shell, like those who might have been shy or not sure if they could do things. They actually come out of their comfort zone, also form those friendships that they can have beyond the walls of this place.
Among these inspiring athletes is Emma Shaner.
I can do a back walkover, a back handspring, almost my tempo.
She says beyond those skills, it's the friendships that truly make a difference.
Whenever I started, I didn't really have many people, but now I've been here for a little bit and I have made some friends with it, and it's been really fun.
Carly Long has been doing competitive cheer since she was 6. Now at 31, she found her place in the Vision family.
We always made my dreams come true because we are not just a dream, we are family.
Before every performance, the cheerleaders share a special ritual.
We're all in a circle and we put an arm in, and we're 1, 2, 3 miracles. And we also pray before it.
The team recently placing 3rd at an all-stars competition, proving that with dedication, support, and heart, anything is possible. What a talented group there. And if you're interested in learning a bit more, or maybe even joining the team, you can find more information on FOX43.com. As always, if you have a great idea or something positive you'd like to share, send me an email at gmediac@fox43.com. On the bright side, I'm Gabrielle Mediac.
Now that the kids are out of school, you may be looking for some family-friendly activities in the area. The Whitaker Center just opened its new Mazes and Brain Games exhibit. Guests are able to maneuver their way through all kinds of mind-bending adventures, 3D puzzles, and full-body games. You can check it out through September 7th. For more details, head to fox43.com. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of Fox 43 Featured. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.